Hi guys, this is Vysh from Vysh IAS and we are going to start yet another new series because most of the students have been requesting me to do something again for history because our Spectrum series have been getting a lot of response, a good response, and people have been buying MCQs from us also. So and they were also buying ancient and medieval history MCQs from me, but they told like they don't have any good videos in my channel for that. So I thought I'll start the NCERTs also for history. Right from class 6 to class 12 we'll do all the NCERTs. Other than that we have the old NCERT of class 11 to that is for ancient history we have the R.S. Sharma, and for the medieval history we have the Satish Chandra. So these are the important textbooks if we have to do, or we have to do the Tamil Nadu textbooks. Okay, so I'll see which all we can complete soon. As of now I'll go in order only. I'll start NCERT history class 6th. So this video will be only chapter 1, very small chapter just for an introduction sake. The cover page of the textbook is what you see here. So every slide will have, every video will have the first slide as the cover page so that you know which textbook I am referring to. Okay. So it's always good to do in order. Don't read class 12th and then come to class 8th, then go to class 9th again. Don't do that way. Okay. Always, because history is something like a story you have to learn, because there are a lot of things like timeline is there and a lot of kingdoms are there, so battles are there. So if you read here and there you will not be able to connect it, like the same way which we learned spectrum. I have given you a very detailed elaboration, and no other channel I know in YouTube has done in such a detailed way, that too in the proper order of timeline. Okay, so same way we'll try to do the other textbooks of history also. Okay, so that should be our goal. So let's begin. And this is our Facebook page. Again, I'm telling MCQs like you have been buying for modern history. Now after the series, or maybe during the series for practice, you can start buying the ancient and medieval also. We have over 250 to 300 questions for dedicated only for ancient and medieval. Okay, everything are UPSC standard questions and it will be good for you. So let's begin this new series. uh, Textbook, I'll be using the original one, the PDF which I have downloaded from NCERT website. You too should download. I have all the PDFs with me. I have kept everything from the NCERT website only, no other source for me. So you should also be depending on such original sources rather than copy pasted coaching material notes. Okay. So this chapter basically is just a introduction of how humans started living, like the agriculture, the food gathering, hunting, and all those things. So there is no in-depth detail or things which you have to remember, but we'll just see the beginning of the story. Okay. So first it's like NCERT, you know, it will be starting like a question answer session between a teacher and a student or something. So we don't need that and all. We just need to focus on the content. Okay. So first they are telling like where did people live? Okay. Originally in Indian subcontinent, which you call now, where did humans originally live in the first? Okay. So if you always will be thinking like it's the Ganga Valley or it's the Indus Valley, but there is something more important or interesting, that is the Narmada Valley. You know, near the Vindhyas or Satpuras and all, there people used to live. Okay. So people have, this is what they are beginning with the textbook with. People have lived along the banks of this river for several 100,000 years. Some of the earliest people who lived here were skilled gatherers, that is, people who gathered their food. You know that time agriculture, cropping and all will not be there. So they will obviously hunt out the animals or gather the forest resources, whatever they get, and that is how they survive. So Narmada river is very important because there centuries ago people used to inhabit. So that is some new information maybe for most of you. Okay, and they're just taking us through the entire map so that we can get an idea. Okay, so Sulaiman Khirtar range, that when you hear, you should understand that it is now in the present day Pakistan Afghanistan region. You can tell Pakistan exactly. Sulaiman Khirtar, like here in the map you can see. Okay, and after this here there will be lot of mountain passes also, like in the Afghan border, through which even Subhash Chandra Bose and all used to escape from India and leave India. So that's a different story. In Spectrum we have covered it. I'm just telling geographical features along with it. Okay, there is a Khyber Pass, there is Golan Pass, there is Bolan Pass. Okay, KGB. That's how I remember. Khyber, Golan, and Bolan. So three passes are there, mountain passes. Then we have the Sulaiman Kirtar range. Any mnemonic you can make, but try to remember the locations. Okay, UPSC won't ask it, but you should know the entire picture, because history, geography, polity, everything can be combined if you know the maps properly. Okay, so again the physical map of the subcontinent they're showing here. A lot of rivers are showing in my geography series. Anyway, I'm going in detail for all these things. Now just get the feel of the history NCERT too. So what else is given here? So here if you see, the women and men, okay, first began to grow crops such as wheat and barley. So they are telling about the Suleiman Kirtar range. There also they were starting to grow crops right from 8,000 years ago. Okay, and people began rearing animals like sheep, goat, cattle. So you know it's mountainous region, so sheep, goat, and all will be there in plenty. Then they lived in villages. There's no urbanization and all at that time. Okay, that we learn when we see the Indus civilization. So Suleiman Kirtar region and Narmada region we have seen. Okay, Vindhyas, you know where is Vindhyas? Vindhyas is again the region here. Okay, Vindhyas, then Narmada river, then Satpura, then Tapti. You should know this order. Okay, both the rivers are like this. It's in Rift Valley region. Okay, that's a geography question. So let's continue. So agriculture developed in that place also Suleiman, Kirtan, Narmada, and these places rice also was first grown. Okay, to the north of Vindhyas. So you should know a little bit of history like this. And whatever is given here in the right also you can read. These are all map related things, but there will be some more important information in the next pages. We'll see. So river Indus and its tributaries. Okay, so that is one important thing where about 4,700 years ago they are telling some of the earliest cities flourished on the banks of these rivers. Okay, later about 2,500 years ago in the bank of Ganga also. So it was Narmada, then the Suleiman Kirtar, then Indus, then Ganga. So that is the order in which people, humans actually inhabited. Okay, you know Indus is always the best one, which we learn later in detail. Then Ganga and its tributaries, they are telling Magadha, you know, it was the first large kingdom you can call. Okay, Magadha. After that, you know, we have the Mauryans, Guptas. There are a lot of things which we learn in subsequent chapters in different classes. But Magadha, you should know, it is the first large kingdom. Okay. People traveled from one part of the subcontinent to another. The hills and the high mountains, including the Himalayas, deserts, rivers, seas, made journeys dangerous at times, but never impossible. That means people are trying to flourish in different areas. They're just telling the expansion of human livelihood. Okay. So men and women moved in search of livelihood so as to escape from natural disasters like floods or droughts. You know, many civilizations are being told like they have came to an end because of natural disasters only. Okay, because anyway that time there was no war and all. People were peace-loving people and they were just focused on survival and not to capture territories or kingdoms. So that is how initial life began and how people started to travel. So again they are telling about hills, mountains, people settling. So any takeaways there? I'll definitely read it, else I'll just call down. Okay. So now the name. Okay. In our constitution also, you know, it is told India and Bharat. Okay. There is no term like Hindustan. Okay. So you should know such basic things. And how did these names emerge? That is another important question, because many people claim that in this, particularly in this era, like in this age, in the news and all, you would be seeing like it's the land of Hindus, it is Hindutva land, it is Hindu Rashtra. It's all actually a wrong notion, and there is nothing called Hinduism itself. Hindu itself is not a religion. Okay, that is what that Yogi Adityanath will be keeping on telling. Hindu is not a religion; it's a way of life. That is actually true, because Hindu word is derived from this Indus thing. India is also derived from this Indus thing. Okay, Indus is just a river, and that's actually the it's referring to the Sindhu river. Okay, Sindhu is in Sanskrit, and then the I think Iranian and Greeks and all, they called it as Indus. It's mentioned here. Okay, Indus. They called it the Hindos or the Indos. So that is how it became Indus, and then it became India. So it's just an evolution, and that too, people living to this side of river is called as Hindus. That's all. It's not a religion. It's not pray to the Shiva or pray to that particular god or pray to any tree or forest or anything. Okay, I'm not blaming or telling anything bad about any religion, but you should know these basic things. Okay, there was nothing like in the Vedas or somewhere it was written, or there is this Ramayana story written like, okay, this is a new religion, you have to practice like this. There's nothing like that. It was just a nomenclature for all the people who were living to the right of this particular river. That is called Hindus or Hindus. Everybody. Okay. Later, it is true that different religions came in, and India is the only country which accepted every religion, everybody to settle in, and that is why India has that unique feature of unity and diversity also. Okay, but people try to spoil it in today's day. But the history is this much only. The river gave the name Hindus, India, Indus, everything. And what about Bharat? Bharat is actually the name of a tribe actually. Okay, here somewhere it should be mentioned. The name Bharata was used for a group of people who lived in the northwest and who are mentioned in the Rig Veda. Okay, some tribal groups, people were there. They were the Bharata group. So just because they were the initial group of people, so the land also came to be called as Bharat. That's all. There is nothing related to any religion. Okay, it's a common name for people who live in this side. Okay, so everybody who live in this side should be accepted as true Indians, nothing else. Let it be whatever religion. Okay, then a lot of pictures of manuscripts and all they are showing. So here they have mentioned a page from a palm leaf manuscript. Okay, manuscript written thousands of years ago. The palm leaves were cut into pages and tied together to make books. To see a birch bark manuscript turn to page. Okay, again they are telling in different pages they are showing different manuscripts. Okay, so here again manuscripts. What does it mean? The term a book written by hand. Okay, something written by hand in Latin. This manu means hand. Okay, that's how manuscripts term came. Okay, manu means hand, and they used to write on bark of trees and all. So obviously it will not be retained, right? It will be destroyed by insects and all those things. So everything will be destroyed. But many may be stored in temples and all, and in some boxes, precious boxes. So such things are retained, and that is how we know about the history of all these things. Now, religious beliefs, practices, kings, medicine, science, these are some information which we get from such writings, okay, manuscripts. That is the handwritten books or handwritten palm leaf, you can tell, barks, you can tell. And the languages were ancient language, Sanskrit, Prakrit, and all. You know, Sanskrit also is one of the classical languages in India. Only 6 languages have classical status in India. Try to find out which are the 6 languages, okay. There is no Prakrit, obviously, it is Sanskrit, and then there are 5 languages. Try to find out. Even Tamil is there. So try to find out what are the other 4 I will tell now. Sanskrit, Tamil, and 4 more are there. Try to find out that list because it's very important for UPSC. Now, what else is important here? We'll see. So again, pictures. Pictures are very interesting in these textbooks, and that is why NCERT becomes very easy for us to understand. An old inscription. The inscription takes about 2250 years and was found in Kandahar. You know, it is now in Afghanistan, present Afghanistan. And it has the orders of the Ashoka. Okay, Ashoka the Great we'll be learning after some time. So languages, Greek is there, Aramaic is there. So different languages, different scripts are being obtained from different places. That is how we know about all these timelines. Because we'll be thinking like, how come we know things which is happening in the 3rd century BC, 3000 BC, 4000 BC and all? Because we have these kind of inscriptions left behind, and archaeologists, you know, what is the term archaeologists? These are people who study all these old ancient objects. So that is how we know it. They excavate it and they do the carbon dating. They have lot of other techniques with which they'll understand how much old the actual object is. Okay, and materials also they'll understand whether it's like bone, baked clay, metal, all these things. Okay, that's how even now new sites are being discovered for Indus Valley civilization. They are still researches are going on, and they'll claim like, okay, this is the largest site, that's the largest site. It's still going on. Even last year one site was in news claiming like this is the oldest site among the Indus Valley civilization. Now see these beautiful things. These are all old things, centuries old, and it is available. Okay, still retained. Pot from an old city. Okay, about 4000 years ago. Old silver coin. That is this thing. Okay, right picture. So this is what archaeologists have discovered from multiple places. Okay. Then what we have. So past, it's again our textbook, what we are discussing, it's called our pasts, okay, not past. So this plural word why they have used, because we have multiple things to learn from the past, okay. It's not about just one particular kingdom or queen, it's like a different group of people, like the lives of herders of farmers, the kings and queens, the lives of merchants, different strata of society, everything we are going to learn. That is why this textbook is called past. Actually class 6 to 8, everything is called past only, okay. Our past 1, our past 2, our past 3, that is how the textbook have been named. There is no other name for the books. So because we are going to learn the entire history, ancient history, that is the 6th, 7th and 8th NCERTs. Then only later we'll come to the medieval and modern and all. Okay, modern anyway, I don't think you need any other textbook. I have done the spectrum in elaborated, detailed manner. So try to see that. Now again, Andaman Islands, they had the fishing, hunting, collecting food produce, etc. Then food gathering. These are all we have seen. And this AD and BC concept. How do we tell like this is AD, that is BC? Okay, it's based on the birth of Christ. Okay, BC means before Christ. These are basic information, but just we have to cover it. Okay, so that is there. Then again AD they will be mentioning here. Anno Domini somewhere it will be here. Yeah, here in this box they have given. Okay, AD is used for the present day year. Okay, now we will tell like now it is 2018 AD. Okay, what it is Anno Domini. Okay, or sometimes CE is also used. And CE is used for common era. Okay, so common era, CE or AD is the present one. What we are having is 2018. That is anything right from 1, 2, 3, 180, 280. 180, you know, Kanishka ruler is there. So 180, 280, like that. Now up to 2018 AD. 2018 years are all part of AD and CE. Or anything before that will be BC, and that will be counted in the reverse order. Meaning from 180, if you go 1 year backward, it will be 1 BC, okay, then 2 BC, 3 BC. When the BC number is increasing, that means you are going to older age, okay. So that is why 2000 BC, 2500 BC and all in Mohenjo-daro movie you would have seen. That is the Indus Valley civilization time. Then the number will keep on reducing, the AD will start and then it will be the present common era. So that is how timeline is divided by historians. Okay, AD, CE for the new and BC for the old. Very basic things, but I'm just telling you. Again, these are good things. Lot of what is it, scripts kind of thing discovered from other places. Okay, not only in India, they're showing different things. So here, if you see different pictures, they keep together and they'll understand like, okay, this stands for this letter. So they are trying to decipher. Decipher is the term. Okay, here it is mentioned. Process known as decipherment. That is, they're trying to crack a particular code or something. That is decipherment. So that is how they come to know different languages. Even Indus Valley civilization, till now nobody has been able to decipher because they don't have a proper script. Okay, they have a lot of pictorial representation and it is not in order. It is a little bit of scattered thing. So it is very difficult to decipher it. But archaeologists are still continuing to research on it and see, we'll see different stories. Okay, stories are the best thing about learning history. You cannot get stories in geography or polity or economy. There might be small incidents, but good stories will be there only in history, and that is why it's easy to learn also. So again, some Egypt related stories there that we won't go through because it's not at all relevant for us. Maybe it's Indian means we could have seen. Now here we don't have MCQs like in the geography textbook, but there is math the following. So it's just a basic understanding like what was Narmada Valley famous for. Okay, Narmada Valley is for hunting and gathering. Okay, the first hunting and gathering you can tell. Magadha is the first big kingdom. Garo Hills I think somewhere while scrolling down I had noticed Garo Hills is for early agriculture you can tell. Then Indus and its tributaries, the first cities, right? I told I think 4,700 years ago, and Ganga Valley cities about 2,500 years ago. We have seen this. Garo Hills alone, I will try to search it again. I think I missed it while scrolling down. So here Garo, like same place where we were discussing about the Vindhyas, there Garos also was mentioned. Okay, Garos to the northeast and Vindhyas. So here early agriculture was there. Garo Hills, you know, Garo Khasi Jaintia is in the Meghalaya region, okay, where the funneling effect of mountains is there, and that is why heavy rainfall is there. That I have covered in geography. Okay, so like this I will be trying to make videos. Please give your feedback so that we can continue the entire series. History is going to be very interesting and very useful for you because last year also about 14 to 15 questions came from history alone, okay, in prelims. So let's wait for your feedback. So enjoy your day. Thank you and have a nice day.